Hold on a second. All right.
Everybody in?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening and welcome to the March 23rd, 2026 meeting on the Hampden Selectboard and Board of Health. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is being held in the Select Board meeting room at the Hampden Town Hall. We are recording the meeting as well as broadcasting on Zoom. Is there anyone else recording the meeting? Kristen Rivers from the Times. Welcome, Kristen. All right, so the first thing on the agenda is minutes. We have a copious amount of minutes. Would you say that's correct, Mr. Dempler?
Oh, this is excellent.
What do you think, Mr. Van Leeden?
Copious?
Yes.
I would say there's a copious amount of minutes.
Now let that be moved. All right, so the first copious minutes are February 17th. We signed the highway union contract after 3 years of negotiation. Yeah. Liquor permit. We talked about the budget. We discussed the regional agreement. With no end in sight. We had some talk about the contract renewal for the town administrator. And that was a good meeting held by all. Move approval. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Consent agenda, all of these. February 25th, rescheduled from the 23rd.
Why was it rescheduled?
We didn't have it on the 23rd.
Was there any particular reason?
Snow happened that day.
No.
Yeah, we had a storm
Okay.
with a good reason.
Where is the snow now?
Finally gone. Most of it.
There's a bill for moving it in. Over, I believe, yes. It's a copious bill.
You know about
Okay.
getting for a dome over the town, but it's fine.
Rather than just the one over your house.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so we talked about, we had a meeting with Park and Rec to discuss the MOA that the administrator developed.
Oh, yeah, where are we on this?
I owe both the library and Parks and Rec edits to the MOA.
So, okay. The budget review with the highway superintendent, talked about our budget. We managed to come to an agreement with the administrator on a new contract after months of negotiation. And that was the meeting.
Move approval?
Second, all in favor? Aye. March 2nd. Halfway through. All right, more budget reviews. Reappointed Joe Civilian. Had a poll petition. Met with
That went well.
some of the school committee. Yeah, first bite at the poll petition, yes. Talked about the budget, which was very entertaining, and then we met with the police department.
Tomorrow night, Ronnie. Tomorrow night, 6 o'clock here.
Well, take a cookie and have a cookie.
See you tomorrow? Okay, good.
Along with every other board, spot meeting.
What?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock here, yeah, in this room, yeah. This room, right?
Move approval.
Oh, second.
All in favor? Aye. Good move, Eric. All right. March 9th. Fun continued. We met with conservation. We took a recess to meet with the advisory committee who are meeting with the school committee and to listen to their discussion. We met then with the advisory committee, to talk about our requests. And just general discussion about, obviously, issues coming before the select board. Move approval,
Second,
all in favor? Aye. And now Don's favorite part, on March 16th, we continued the National Grid poll petition. And it was so passed. We met with Veteran Services, reviewed their budget. We met with Ryan Paxson and talked about shared health. We met with the library trustees and talked about their memorandum of understanding. What is the A again?
Agreement.
Agreement, of understanding, okay.
We could make it a
And we talked about the warrant coming forward. Any changes or additions?
move approval.
Second, all in favor?
Aye, aye.
Thank you. Now, well, that was a heck of a meeting. Motion to adjourn.
All right,
All right. Mr. Town Administrator, item 1 on the agenda.
Fire department has received a new brush truck. And they'd like to get rid of the old one. And pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30B, the town needs to have a surplus property disposition policy, which you have. And that says that department heads need to send a letter or note or an email to the select board requesting that the vehicle or equipment be declared surplus property. So you have an email from Chief Bullen from March 19th, requesting that the 1953 Dodge X Army surplus truck that was given to the town at no cost by the state of Massachusetts be classified as town surplus property. The value to be approximately $5,000. So this would go.
Isn't there any other town department that needs a truck right now that could use it?
So the policy says we would offer it to town departments first, and then if not, we would put it to auction.
It's a condition of it.
that's,
Size of the
it's a condition of the policy, right?
We would, yes, the policy says that we will offer it to town departments, and then if there's no takers, then we would.
How much
Like we
mulch,
use
how much
municipal.
mulch can you put in that truck?
Oh. Don't know what the volume of that is. But the first step would be to declare it surplus property. which
Okay.
is what it's
Fine. I'll entertain a motion to declare it surplus property.
Houses they have.
So
I'm
moved,
not sure.
so moved. See,
Declaring it surplus property.
We can find that out.
I hate to give up some. Okay, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then reach around to other departments that might be in need of a truck.
Sure.
I think the meeting tonight is a matter.
The cruiser. What is a cruiser?
Wasn't a cruiser we were thinking?
Chief's vehicle?
No.
Sure.
Pretty sure.
Come on, details.
Oh, that'd be nice. Leave the lights on, I'm sure. Yeah, great.
That'll be a good way to make money off of that truck.
There you go.
Really would.
Here we go. Okay, next,
Next,
you and Ham have worked this out?
Hem.
Excuse me, Ham.
So, a little bit more serious note.
Hey, what do you mean, more serious?
More serious. So this is an administrative consent order between the town and Mass DEP in relation to the town hall building. This has been discussed for a while now. It's went back and forth, legal counsel. And essentially what it's doing is town is agreeing to remove, to take one of the wells offline
Mhm.
at the new town hall because it's within
Mhm.
certain radius of the septic disposal system. And once we do that, and once we sign this, and we do that, then it will, essentially it will pass Title V regulations. The building will pass Title V regulations. And we're also agreeing to keep the estimated septic discharge or flow from the building under 10,000 which would give the town which will give the Board of Health jurisdiction over the system, which
Mhm.
otherwise the system is too large, so Mass DEP would have jurisdiction over the system, and there would be an annual permitting process that would happen. So because we're agreeing to keep the flow of the system low, and we're agreeing to take off one of the wells, then we can keep going as we are.
Now we're taking the well off as a potable water
Over
supply.
the water source,
We're
correct?
leaving the option open to use it as a low water input into the heating system and or irrigation down the road.
Correct, yep. The requirement is that we separate it from potable water.
Right.
So whether it's
But we don't have to cap it or anything
not
like
cap it, whether it's future irrigation or whether it's
Okay.
makeup water for the heating system or some other future purpose.
Right.
They're okay with that. It just needs to be disconnected from potable water.
Now, the other point is that has the location of the well changed in 20 years?
It has not.
Has the septic field changed in 20 years?
Deposition.
Hmm.
It has not.
So this has been going on and for decades, they didn't care.
Decades.
Okay, just want to make that point.
Yes.
Right.
Which brings me to the discharge. I mean, at one point there were 600 kids in the school.
Yep.
Yep. And now we got 30 people maybe on a given day.
Mhm.
On a good day.
No, Yeah.
Everybody shows
and now
up.
it's a
right?
problem. Yeah, right. Okay, either way, it was an easy
Is there a
solution.
nitrogen thing in here?
This is a nitrogen sensitive area. That is correct.
And what do we have to do about that?
Stop taking the water out. Stop drinking the water.
It's the one near the septic.
Well, we don't need to do anything else in addition to that,
Mhm.
but it is a nitrogen sensitive area.
Anyhow, it's an easy solution. The ACO remains in effect for ever.
As long as the building's here.
Okay. Is there anything we have to do in terms of like reporting on it for future, or they can just walk in anytime they want, verify it's in effect, it's being adhered to?
So one of the things we're agreeing to do in here is have a Title V done,
Mhm.
once it's assigned. Those are the two main things. We have Title V done, and we need to, in different order, we need to disconnect the well from potable water and then have a Title V done. And then, I mean, they always reserve the right to come back if they want to. The jurisdiction of the system will remain.
Okay,
It makes it a nitrogen sensitive area because of what? What is it? Give them wastewater treatment within the nitrogen sensitive area. Okay. Right. Given the wastewater treatment with the nitrogen sensitive area. So we're gonna abandon that well. That's the one we're abandoning, right? One is in the nitrogen sensitive area.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Guess we'll move to approval. We need consent.
well, in the interest of getting everything done, I would agree with that. I'm still not crazy that they still refer all the way through as Thornburg Middle School. And I think this is an ongoing consent order.
Oh, yeah,
I
right.
think the town hall. would
Sometimes should be town hall, right?
Yeah, we can get that language changed.
Okay,
Um,
that would be good. So if we can get that changed and then the board authorized me to sign it on that, but I mean, I think the title should be correct. This is
Yeah, even-
consenting to the town hall location. not-
Yeah, even if they put in former.
Yeah.
Uh,
I believe that was one of the requests. Well,
I mean, right now, it doesn't even mention the fact that it's town hall usage really. Much.
yeah, it just mentions it in relation to
The
the
downgrade,
flow.
right, the decreased usage now.
And the nitrogen sensitive area, and now I remember, is we have to under 10,000 gallons
Mhm.
per day, because it's nitrogen sensitive area.
Okay,
Anything over 10,000
that's why,
considered as the fact an automatic threat to,
Nitrogen everywhere, right?
And where would you suspect that the nitrogen would come from?
well, nitrogen can come from a lot of places.
The atmosphere.
It can come from fertilizer, it can come from
We don't
litter.
we don't fertilize. There's only one place that fertilizes around here that the water runs downhill into our well.
Yes.
So will the board authorize the chair to sign this after editing?
Yes. So moved.
So, second, all in favor?
Second.
Definitely memos.
Okay. So moving ahead, Ms. Davenport, you bring some information before the board on the transfer station in the enterprise fund.
Well, the transfer station is barely staying above water financially. Okay. All right, so I think we're looking at several different options that we have to do. One be increasing the permit, the price of the permit. Laurie's here. The $20,000, that's for
Lori,
Yeah.
this is a thing. Can you come up to the front row? Because we have the mic up here, but we can barely even pick up at that point. And for the minutes, it's really important. Thank you. And welcome, Lori.
Like I'm in principal's
so
office.
is that for new bags?
Pardon? All honesty, I was just up there in the building and I watched what he moved over to his cell shed. I think we're gonna be able to make it another year before I have to buy bags,
Which bags?
or we're gonna cut it close.
Which bags?
The pay-as-you-throw bags,
Large or small?
probably large goes more than small.
Okay.
I would do it in bulk at the same time, it's gonna be cheaper.
Well, usually we don't. I mean, I don't remember really getting a break when we bought large and small at the same time, but.
I have yet to talk with the bag company, I just found a
Yeah.
previous bill, it's just
But
15.
you're saying you think we're in good shape on both sizes?
I think.
For a year?
so.
Okay.
Or if not the whole year, a good portion of it, I think we would be okay.
Okay.
But this is a tough call, I'm just coming into this, so. To watch, monitor, and
I will
I
monitor. So
put
let's,
it in there for safety reasons, put everything in there just. Precaution, and yes, Mr. Davenport, I apologize for not getting back to your email, but it is on the higher end. I took everything at the highest bill that I've had in my hand so far.
Yeah.
To be safe,
Yeah.
plus if fuel keeps going the way it's going, definitely gonna be utilizing it, because they are starting to hit us with a fuel fee.
do we get the hauling, where are we with the hauling service contract?
That's
So I'm working on the scope of work right now. Central, some stuff. I did a little bit of research and it is exempt from Mass General Law, Chapter 30B. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't put it out for bid, but there's not a formal process that we
Right.
follow, but certainly need a pretty solid scope of work that we need, that's what we're working on that today.
So does he pick up the senior center and all that too? Does he do
Yes.
that too?
Yes. I have one of the contracts I found, or the way it must have went out from 2011, where she asked everything involving town, buildings, the park, so that everything was priced the same. This is a 2011. So I find that's
He's
number
north,
one.
McNamara is north, right?
So you're saying McNamara picks up the highway department, any municipal building work?
Correct.
What's the fire department doing now? I know they used to bring it to, they bring it directly to the transfer station or?
We try to get them to take the tanks that were at the old town hall, because they're regularly picked up every other week. You've got paper and cardboard, you got to trash.
Mhm.
And it's $90.06 a month, unless he adds a fuel charge on that. All the other buildings are paying the same.
Okay, so the ones that were at the town hall, did they get moved to fire or no?
They took them back. Fire now goes every Tuesday with their trash and just disposes of it in the transfer station.
Probably hasn't got much. Probably they don't have much.
Just remember now, every little bit is gonna add up. And it's gonna take everybody diligently
No, I
trying.
understand that, but so but it's gone down because we're not paying for the ones that were at the town hall before, but we are paying for the ones here,
Correct.
which we want
Yes.
before, so it's a wash,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Who does the mowing?
I found out the town highway, and
Yep.
town highway charges the transfer station account. Didn't know that. I was trying to calculate and then I saw that on police's ledger. I didn't realize they charged them all up there.
I talked to Mark about that because I saw, I think, because I saw they were mowing every week up through November. You know, like, really? Really? Like, what are you mowing? Mark said he would look at that and obviously there's not really a need. Heck, I stopped mowing in October. And before that, it was maybe every other week.
Yeah.
So the guy shouldn't just be going up there and running it around, you know.
Maybe it could be by
It's the-
request.
Well,
Maybe it could be by request.
that's the thing. I mean, back when it was, you know, we had the hatch come up and bail it.
Yeah.
But now that the solar's up there, it's pretty much the triangle and that's about it. Maybe probably some roadside mowing. all the way
Triangle
up
on the
and
road,
down.
you know,
Right.
along across the road.
But again, that's not that critical because it's not like stopping the line of sight or anything like that. So I think it's something Mark plans on addressing going forward. Because right now, that line item that's in his budget is expended. There's nothing for the spring. If you look at Elisa's spreadsheet, it's showing pretty much done for the year.
Yeah.
So there's nothing
Yes.
left, right?
Correct. The one good thing is, all these years later, 20 some odd, from what I can find, actually 15, let's go 15. This is a 2011 paperwork. And per ton, it's still 120. So I guess we have one plus. They are charging 120 per ton disposal trash still.
Really?
Yeah, and Bondi's isn't burning anymore. Everything is baled and shipped out on a
Right.
train to Boston.
The difference is we're paying to get rid of recycling stuff. Right?
Yes,
That Murph went
you
away.
used to get credit for your paper and
Mhm.
your recyclables. It was a commodity, it's not a commodity anymore because China stopped buying it, hence we pay.
Mhm.
Members of the MERP, so we're paying the least possible. So like, what would have been a credit, you get so much back. So that just defers our rate to paying as minimal as possible. Are still paying. And last month's bill, because there was so much cardboard is going out. We have a lot of people that, if I might, from Southwood, they have trash pickup. They're coming over and buying permits just to recycle. So the cardboard is going out very fluently. And the biggest bill we've had yet was 1661 and change. So I went with that across 12 because I have no idea what's gonna come.
Hmm.
1661 to the MERP, and that's for all our recycles.
We don't get anything for the cardboard, huh?
No more, China stopped buying it.
What about the metal?
The metal, he has now given us credit. How much, I'm not sure if it's in full or if it's partial, but I am seeing the last couple loads that went out, we are, because I questioned that.
Who's-
Had that been
Is
happening,
Neckar taking the metal as well?
yes,
That might be one, for instance, at my office, we get a check from Sullivan or Friedman, depending on where we go. And it might be worth, that might be one to actually job out, see what kind of money they're giving for. I mean, it's depending on whether it's clean, because that's kind of a mixed load metal thing you're getting there.
it's clean, these guys work hard up there, they're
I
very,
understand that, but I mean, it really, anything goes in and then they take out what's not metal, but still, it's not like it's, my stuff is flat sheets of seared metal.
but, he gave the credit back, so it was off of the monthly bill. Wasn't so much a check, it just.
Could we go better?
Anyways. And it's gonna be due to go out again, Mark just crushed it, so again, we're gonna get through a couple months. Not going.
So,
The rigid plastic, now that's another entity, taking all that in. And we have to pay to hook it, the rent on the tank and the disposal for that. And that adds up fast.
Hmm.
There's a lot of rigid plastic that comes in.
what would they do with it otherwise?
I don't know, but that costs.
Yeah.
So is that an opportunity for,
Possibly considering maybe charging on some of the bigger stuff or the larger amounts of it.
Mhm.
$5, $1, $5, $2, anything, if we can get it near $100, pretty much offsets the tonnage, because the last time we paid $134 just in ton. Get rid of it.
Right. So Don, you're proposing
Well,
upping the bag fee and
I don't
the,
know. I'm not proposing.
oh, look at this.
Yeah,
That was, Laurie just did that gig, it had an idea to balance it.
try and get some money. Haven't we yet?
Oh, The Wilbraham's permit fee for their transfer station is $130, and we're charging 80, 70. Right? The other thing we could do is
They have a bag fee on top of.
they have a bag fee, they have a $2 and a $3 bag fee.
Okay.
They also have a landscaper permit fee, $600 for landscapers to dump their compostable grass clippings and that stuff, leaves and grass clippings and that stuff.
Yeah, we don't have the room we used to have,
Yeah,
though,
for
that's the
the-
thing,
right.
since, that. Remember Mark came and
Yeah,
talked
yeah.
about, I don't know if we can take much more there.
So, and so I think I sent an email saying, look, you got $100 fee, permit fee. And keeping the bag price the same. And also we could, and I also know that some towns, we could have reduced hours. We could go 3 hours on a Tuesday and 7 hours on a Saturday.
Mike is doing real well by himself on Tuesdays, and I can always scoot up if he's got a busier front or tail end of the day. I can always run up there for an hour and a half. Tuesday, he's been doing good by himself. With all due respect, it's been happening quite a bit. Saturday, has to be 3 guys in there.
So,
Right, but you're saying one guy or two guys on? Tuesday?
One guy on Tuesday.
and then he had the thing.
there's
Okay, so one and one.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because I hate to say it, you've got to have somebody watching the trash goes in or.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking
Now
about.
Denny's there at that,
So
but
one of recyclables.
Yeah,
Do you know how many permits we sell a year?
pardon?
How many permits are sold a year? Roughly?
You're about 620 to 650, but take in mind, they are not all full fee. You have about a 25%, 30% of that is seconds. They're getting 2 stickers per home.
you got, if you look at it looks like 170 full permits and 325 senior permits.
Whatever comes started.
So that gives you 495 plus the double permits, about 5 something,
You mentioned about the Wolverham permit, what's their price for their senior?
$80.
80.
No, excuse me, $110.
For the senior permit?
$110.
And
Do they offer-
$130 for the regular permit.
There's not a facility that has anything less than 100.
But
110.
But-
Years and years ago.
one question though, does Wilbraham have more services than we offer?
No,
They don't, the residents can't bring like yard waste and stuff like that to Wilbraham,
they have to pay it. They can't.
They can, but they have to-
Still.
but they give pay.
They can bring your yard away, you can bring your right ways under your permit, but landscapers have to pay a $600 permit.
Right, residents do not, right?
The residents-
So I'm saying if there's variance in fees, it's not quite apples to apples for Wilbraham to handle, you know what I mean? Because we can't, I personally have there at home, so I've never been to the transfer station, but
And we can bring your yard waste to our,
you can bring your waste up.
Only grass clipping.
your grass clipping and leaves.
Right now, somebody's
That's what
built
the
some
permit,
Christmas trees.
You always see Christmas trees in there.
that's
The
what,
thing is, they go to farm
where the
and
permit-
go to.
so it's apples to apples. Yeah, I mean, I get it.
So they're 130 and 110 for senior. And $2 and $3 a bag. We're at $2 and $4.
I'd like your idea of increasing the fee, but trying to keep the bag price down. a bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
'cause it's
should
one
start with
chunk.
just stick the fees up.
There's no one who has a fee that's less than $100 for permit.
Trash is
I agree with
getting ridiculous.
you. But we gotta, and you never know what the next year is gonna bring to us.
And
It's a way to.
here's
Some
another
of the
thing,
money.
got too, if we are actually going into a contract that's gonna be 3 years. If you're settling for this fee and you're gonna keep it that way, okay, so that starts this year with the contract. But next year when the contract goes up, 3rd year when the contract goes up, that's what's happened over the last, how many contracts? Your fee's been here, they start here, but in this 3 years, it steps up, but your fees have stayed across. The board. The deficit's only gonna get worse.
What is,
Yeah,
do
it's hard to have an escalator built into their fees though, that's the thing.
you know what Wilbraham charges for a second? Like a family member?
Um,
I just didn't know if you know off the top of your head.
I do. I got any, hold on. You can bear with me. I got a thing right here. Right.
Put you on the spot.
The theme from Final Jeopardy here.
Well, I just wonder if they charge X amount and is their second,
Yeah, I think
Ours.
it's like, I want to say off the top of my head, $40.
Second.
Yeah.
that's what we charge.
Maybe we can do more. Well, keep talking, I'll get this.
So is this FYI at this point?
Yes, yeah. Just-
Before the
just
town
work-
meeting,
Just work you through,
Okay.
we'll come up with that.
and you're gonna come up with your warrant article
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Okay, great.
And everything is on the higher estimation, of the highest bills that were in my hands at the time.
Tell me about the electricity, I'm hearing ugly rumors.
The electricity.
Yeah, that
The
it
expansion.
costs more to put the pole up.
I was gonna ask you if we even have a poll. My last check-in was you said we did. I asked Mark. Mark said he was gonna talk to the Verizon lead to make sure we were actually getting poll. I haven't heard a thing since.
Okay,
But yes, to actually go step by step, absolutely be over 10.
really?
Absolutely.
Really?
Because that'll probably, the rest, what we have in here will probably take everything for them to put that transformer, bring it over to our. Once it's in, we might have to go one more year and then try and see if there's anything in the budget to actually have the electrician in town connect the building from the mast. Electricity is not cheap.
Didn't know in the 21st century was so hard to connect electricity.
No kidding.
I mean, this may be an undertaking that we probably shouldn't address, but these are seniors up there, and that's a long, cold Saturday.
It is.
It's windy, it's bitter, it's cold, and I can tell you,
I mean-
I don't know how they do it. I'm
Your
not in there,
suggestion
Karen,
of
I
the
have-
long extension cord from the other place was bad.
No, they're much cheaper.
I mean, they don't complain. One of them, I truly believe now calls out when it is gonna be worse on a day, but you've got one that's very diehard. That's,
Any luck on your advertising for another?
I might have two. I might have a husband and a wife. As long as they are definitely only on call and they're busy. So we're gonna talk about it when they leave us. So,
Was that you and Sophie?
No,
Oh, second.
Donate, I know your salary back to the town, you know.
share what is there.
That's not you.
Browse.
No,
I
Are you?
can't find it.
Working.
And then that's not even addressing the safety issue.
Well, it's not that, okay. Bring that back to another discussion we have.
Yeah.
We are waiting
We're working on
for,
it Just to bring you up on, that was the whole thing, right? Let's see what this says here. That's. I can't find it. Not important. We're waiting for who now?
the advisory to come here and
Are they coming?
talk about our good times.
All right, we can move on to something else. We'll work on
While
it.
we're waiting, thank you for the
Thanks,
update.
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lori.
Talking to you.
Warrant review.
Yeah, I don't know if we got enough time for that. Well, a quick update. Is there anything major changed in the warrant at this point?
No. How's that for quick?
That was a great answer. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
All right, well. Having a sense of maybe the advisory coming back with some recommendations. Is the board trending towards? No action on purchases, but leaving them on the warrant for explanation purposes, i.e. the dump truck, things like that. If we're thinking of like targeting them for free cash in the fall. Should we leave them on the warrant and make that excellent? Well, I thought we were kind of like saying, we're good with the loader from chapter 90.
Right.
For the 26 money, because it's gonna. We're not doing anything with it this year anyhow.
Correct.
The dump truck. Maybe it's not the time to put it in the annual, but we should explain that we may come back out of free cash in the fall. what was the other thing? Mark's truck, a pickup truck,
That was a pickup, so, you know,
and maybe the same thing.
Well, can we do the loader now?
I'm saying we do loader on chapter 90, so it doesn't affect anything.
No.
Right, that's what I'm saying, leave that. We could also do the dump truck targeting the leftover chapter 90, which chapter 90 was about 250. It all depends on what he's getting. Is he getting that same deal on the loader he had before? That was in the 190.
yeah, that was a great. I mean,
Right.
that was a
So
good
now
deal.
if we had 60,000 left over, you
Right.
knock that against the thing. Unfortunately, the pickup truck was not eligible for that.
Correct.
So, but now you're getting a dump truck for 100 and something. It's a good deal on a dump truck. But I also get back to, I believe we heard chapter 90 money can be rolled over.
You can.
Yes. So we could say, fine, we'll take the loader, and we'll keep the 60,000 for next year's project.
Put it into the 27s. Just do it all at once.
And keep in mind, then in the fall, if you decide now you got your 27 chapter 90 money, plus your leftovers 26, and you might say, gosh, what was the number they threw out there for something? You might say,
Or
okay,
something, yeah. Well,
well, we got 500,000 in chapter 90 money. We're gonna take 200 and get that truck. And keep 300 for paving.
Right.
Who knows? But the options are open. So my question to you is, do we leave those on the warrant? Say we're gonna take no action, but at least get up and say, look, this is not the month for it right now. May come back in the fall.
yeah, we should
We
leave
have a
them
thing.
on. We should leave them on.
Right. It's a it's a 2-minute discussion.
Right.
Right.
You can also get advisories.
And it's transparency. You're telling people, look, this is coming up. Is there anything else on there, Brian, do you think would be worth leaving on for explanation purpose only? Transfer switch?
No.
The
I'm
handguns,
telling you, I'll do it for, 500.
You live next door.
I live
Hand-
next door. Yeah, exactly.
You don't.
handguns.
And it's handguns and the cruisers that be a solution, I guess.
I thought I heard that Dan was willing to push both. And didn't you say there was some way to use the off-duty money if it was like transfer a certain
Free
way or
cash,
something?
Needs to, it needs to.
Being
it's supposed to
public.
the general.
So you need to sweep it first, basically. And then that would increase your free cash number and we can use that in the fall.
Yes.
Okay, well, then,
We already have a cruiser in his budget. This
Oh,
is an
no, I
additional-
thought-
this is an
I thought it
additional
was-
cruiser, right?
I don't know, I thought we was talking about taking that out. We had it in his budget thing and then I wasn't sure. Heck, he could use that brush truck.
Red one.
The old one, yeah.
Shelley-
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
Shelley's back and give it to him.
We're gonna have significant money in his salary account.
Some, yeah. I mean, that guy being out or not having a position
About $150,000.
that much.
Yeah. So
But
we could transfer that now, but in May 1st to pay for the guns. Or pay for the.
or do we say we really need a really good free cash number in the fall?
Well, you know, my problem with the free cash number is,
Not big enough?
no,
Decide that.
I don't wanna put any money towards the water project. Paying that
That's
down,
another question.
paying that
yeah, I
down,
agree.
because I'm not afraid of debt. I'd rather pay $30,000 a year for 10 years than use up all my free cash.
Thank you for that softball pitch. So you know what I've mentioned before is that I think the town should be
We've been practicing
exploring.
it for 2
Thank you,
days.
Thank you. Town should be exploring more of an omnibus bond for some of these projects. We got the police station to finish off. Can't use it for Minnetonka. We've got the fire station thing. We've got some other things like the water project. And we're treating them like they gotta be paid tomorrow.
Right,
When if we had on, this goes back to what we did for the 5-year road project. You'd have a way to keep it in the budget. You'd have a line of credit, so if something emergency happened, the town has authorized money. The bridge falls in. What are we gonna do? Call a town meeting to appropriate money? Or you have a lot of, I think. That type of thing, and just like you say, Don, now you're servicing that at a lower number over 20 years because It's capital stuff.
Yeah.
You don't need to pay for it in 1 year.
I look at like you're doing, when you buy a house.
Right.
You don't pay cash, you can get a 30-year mortgage.
Right. So I think that's
You don't
really,
have to bleach
But,
cash.
but from my stance, kind of.
Yep.
Is you're paying interest on that money.
Yeah, you are.
So it's costing you more in the long run.
It is.
You have the money to pay it. That's gonna save you money in the long run.
Except we don't have the money to pay it.
Right. That's,
Right.
that's,
We really don't.
and you
because-
do get two
because what
choices.
you
You
do
can do
then
the
is-
flat interest, or you can do the front-ended type, depending which way you go.
Right.
But we
So
really
that-
don't have the money.
would
because
hope
what you're doing
we're
is
not borrowing at a really high.
Right.
you're eating up your tax dollars.
Right.
You're taxing the people. I think they'd rather be taxed at 35 or 50,000 or even 100,000 a year than 600,000.
And keep in mind, even though say we approve throw a number, $10 million bond. You're paying on what you actually borrow. It's a line of credit, but you're not taking all 10 million and putting it in the bank.
Right.
You know, you're allowed,
Yeah.
like we did with the road thing,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, so we approved a $2 million 5-year road note. But 1 year we could use 600, the next year we use 300, right? Because it allowed us to, you know, Wolverham Road costs twice as much as, you know, this road here. So it had to be done in 1 year. But then next year you took it a little easy. I just think it's worth exploring.
Yeah, no, you're right, Tom. And you feel like a less of a tax burden if you kind of spread it over time and you.
Right. And this
You know.
like, I understand what Dick is saying about, look, I want to
Yeah,
get this
yeah,
off the board because I know what's coming.
Sure.
But maybe there's a way to even out. You know,
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
But I need smarter people than me that understand the financial part of it. I see this as an option for the town to monitor our debt. You know, right now, the worst, when I go back to my 20-year spreadsheet, the worst debt we had was 11% of the town budget. Now we're down in the 4 to 5 range, which is not bad, what the state says. You gotta have some debt. And the majority of that is Minichog. If
And how-
if you consider just
and
town
how-
debt, it'd be the police station, and that's about it.
And you know, just for my sake, with the, how long are we paying for Minichog? 20 years?
We refinanced a while back, but that didn't change the term. I mean, we started paying after the bans. What was it, 2012?
Yeah.
So probably another, did we get the 30-year exemption on it? I think we
30
did.
30
Yeah.
years.
30 year?
Yeah.
So we've got it for another 14 years or so.
Well,
Is it?
you do bans for a while, so probably started in 2014.
2014? Okay, all right, so we got a ways to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Now, the police station was 2002. So that's gotta be pretty close to done. I thought it was done the same time as the senior center. Which is paid off. Maybe a little
2000
later,
2000.
but I don't think it's got much more.
Like that, please say that, I don't think there's much more.
No, because that was only 3 million.
But
That'd be nice to get that to roll off. Hopefully, maybe we'll get close to the fire station at that time and
Yeah.
they'll kind of won't hurt as much.
the division of local services recommend, says that good borrowing, recommends that 5% of your valuation,
Mhm.
which would allow us theoretically do bond for
800.
$45 million. We're about 9 billion valuation.
Oh, if your valuation.
Valuations, but so they, 5% of your valuation, they could say, they don't recommend it, but you could go up as high as 10%, but they say 5% is a good number for any town to have. So, we're way below that. I'm not saying we should borrow 45 million.
Well, we get better chairs or something, right?
Breathable chairs.
Really nice,
Really
chair, yeah, thanks. So it's, I mean, you look at the darn transfer switch, I mean, we have, and honestly, it should be a capital item because it's 20 years old now. I mean,
Talking about replacing the whole generator, you're talking about replacing the switch.
I know when the generator only cost $250, I look back at my records, the generator was $250 when they put the school in. And the switch is $150 on top of it?
Could they theoretically look into just doing a manual switch as opposed to,
Automatic.
'cause I can imagine that, there's the massive transfer switches I've seen, there's just a huge breaker, somebody just takes city power, and just
Yeah.
transfer it from one to the other. It's not working.
There must be more technology to it than that, because I mean, that's a lot of,
Yeah,
that's a huge number.
it's a big number.
I mean, if I do it once, you do it once, we're done for the year.
That's it.
All right, are they coming to us?
I would hope so. What else we got? So correspondence things. We talked about that. So Don, you are on doing that, working with Ryan on that grievance.
Yes,
Yes, okay.
yes, yes.
Okay.
We're supposed to meet, Thursday at, 1 or 2 o'clock, I think,
Up there on site?
here at the Board of Health office.
Okay. Is Ryan talked about possibly reaching out to them during one of his normal inspections?
Yeah,
To get them in the loop.
yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna meet with us Thursday.
Oh, they're coming here.
They're coming here,
Oh, even better. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
The other email complaints are, Lauren, let me just, is that people sharing their thoughts about the contract negotiations?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. How many would you say have gotten so far?
they're all in the folder in
5, 6, 7?
each. Five,
Hmm.
I think, no. Yeah, probably about 5 or so.
But that's been resolved because they didn't cut the Green Meadows teacher.
So,
2 o'clock Thursday. Which is another issue, by the way, the teacher contracts.
I didn't see really the impact of that in our budget
No,
projection. Hidden out there.
and I know the negotiations are quote secret. But it'd be nice if they shared it, like, how far apart are you about? You know, do they want 20%? You're offering 2%, or?
Well, I think that's the thing. I mean, obviously, we've all been around, so you knew they carried something.
Yeah.
But just like we carried something in our budget for the highway, but. I mean, so how far between what you got in the pocket versus what they want are you?
Right.
And is it that part? Is it the steps? Is it stipends? Is it whatever?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, are we talking $500,000 impact to the budget, 200,000? But. You know what? They got a rep for the thing. Why don't you, is it Mark? Who's the rep from what? I think it is. Why don't you reach out?
Mark,
Yeah.
we're getting along so well, I'm sure he'll.
Bring it forward. You gotta come up front. They can't hear you back there.
I'm sure he'll be happy to hear from me.
You guys talk all the time. Don't fool me.
We meet secretly.
Was that cabal thing you said
And at the village, that's a,
at the village store?
at the village store. At the village
I
store.
still have something like that. You don't need to read. Hello. I'd like to welcome the Hampden Advisory Committee. And you. Dick. Town Treasurer. Hello. Dean, the new clerk. Hello. So how much more money did you find?
we're still looking.
So I don't know that we actually have a copy here of where we are. Have you met with every board and committee pretty much?
Yeah.
I think Brian shared with you, or we shared last week, where the increase that we had in our projected part, it wasn't huge, Brian. It was in the, gosh, I wanted to even say it was 40 or 50,000 total in the part under our purview. Didn't include, obviously, county retirement. I think it did include employee benefits at that part there. You've now seen the highway department, police department. We saw those. Ones we haven't seen the library, we haven't seen Park and Rec. You know, I don't know what kind of increases they have there. So, but if you were summarizing everything right now, you have like a broad number for the increase in requests.
Thank you. Yes, I'm hesitating because we have not seen actual numbers from the school. I mean, I have an informal number that was forwarded to me, but
I saw the vote, right, and it was in the 560 range, but that was a vote.
But it's not clear if that includes capital item, if it includes high school debt. Keep in mind that the schools take the view that their assessment includes the debt for the high school, the capital, and the operating.
And you saw me push back on that, but they weren't really budging on that.
That's the way we've done it as long as I, well,
So the number I thought I heard them vote was roughly 590 something, which included the district debt, separate from the Green Meadows debt.
well, I tried to listen to
There
recording.
there's no Green Meadows.
No, I'm sorry, the Green Meadows, not debt, pardon me, Green Meadows capital that they're requesting, which is a pretty big number.
So to answer your question, we're carrying a number, but it's a relatively low confidence figure.
Well, separate than the school, so the town number increases.
Oh, the town number is a very modest increase.
Mhm.
Do you have the, I didn't make a note, literally just went over these. Will you make a note of what the total town?
I have it.
You have it, I didn't start.
The increase, right now, they increase it 789,000.
That's including school.
That's,
I hope so.
That's a. We take that out.
790.
Oh, if we take that out, it's 220,720.
In just a non-school part of the town budget, okay.
We just have the.
So the bulk of that, now, did that include, we were having a conversation before, are we leaving the cruiser in the budget?
that's with the cruiser in the
In the
budget, that's a discussion.
And the guns.
And the guns. That's a discussion that obviously has to be had, is whether or not to include the cruiser and the guns. Highway department also would like to see a pickup truck.
Okay, that number, does that include warrant articles then, or?
No,
No,
We
we don't.
don't-
Well, the pickup truck would be a warrant, okay.
But the point being that these might be better deferred to the fall.
And we had the conversation here. So the cruiser though, and this goes to Kathy's point, because she's been there knowing that sometimes it was in the budget and then was the
Right.
second one is,
Separate
right.
warrant article. No, I totally get that, but we haven't seen,
Are you considering, are the police presenting that cruiser inside their budget under the cruiser line item? Okay.
yes,
Are they including the guns in their thing or is it a separate warrant article?
it's in their thing.
In their budget
It's in
as
their
like
budget.
capital equipment or whatever purchase? Okay.
In this, in this 220,000. Is
Round figures for the accounts.
that
That's
a
inclusive
car
of
and the cruiser and the gun is in the 220,000?
So without those two capital items, the increase is fairly,
About,
Yes.
it's closer to like 300,000,
with those.
the increase between county retirement insurance, that's 100. And then you had the police cruiser and training, that's like another 100. And the police was, I don't know if that included that, and then the few other. Trying to find one. Townhouse maintenance is 45. So those are the big chunks for the town.
One thing we were talking about for especially the police department was that, as Don said, the off-duty account has quite a bit of money. Years ago, we used that towards a purchase of a cruiser. But appropriately, that really needs to be swept at the end of the year into free cash to be used properly. And we were thinking, okay, we could do that sweep and do the purchase in the fall with an increased free cash number.
But that's the account that's being eliminated, correct?
Off-duty?
It won't be generating a surplus.
Right, the money will be going in directly into general fund. But right now, it's got money that couldn't use, just not direct.
So we've had discussions in the past about having cruisers go a little bit higher mileage.
Mhm.
Everything is 100,000 and less. I think one's at 107 or something like that.
Right.
Why don't we defer this and see what happens? see if another 25 or 30,000 miles for this cruiser, or see what happens with the whole maintenance, see if we can update. We never looked at that before.
Well, that's one thing we were talking about is at least, which goes to your point as well, put the cruiser off to the fall. We'll have free cash, a better free cash number. It allows you to do something at this point with keeping the projected school number and keeping somewhat of a levy limit cushion, although not much, without impacting. The warrant articles for the highway department, we have three. One would be the loader, and the board is considering using the chapter 90 money to buy that. We have 2026 money that was targeted for the bridge and now not needed because the state has agreed to pay the entire thing of the bridge. So that freed up.
So chapter 90 money would not require vote, correct?
No,
Vote.
no.
So select.
We don't believe so, no. So it would still leave, we're hoping, because he had a pretty good number from Brookie Tyler on a loader. It would still leave between 50 and 60,000 in the 2026 chapter 90 money, which can be rolled to next year. The dump truck is a want. It's not an absolute necessity that he gets this year. We have a good fleet. This isn't a dump truck from the 70s. It's just one he'd like to replace. The pickup truck, right to Heather's point, it's got miles on it, but is it that bad?
And we did ask Mark when he was in, if that pickup truck was approved at the fall town meeting, could he get it in time for the plowing season? He said he felt he could. So that's the one piece of equipment you can get pretty quickly, isn't it?
Right.
And that's the one he put as a priority of all three of them.
Right.
The first one.
Well, I think the loader was good, but he liked the fact that, the fact it won't cost him anything.
Right,
Right, which is good.
but
And the other one is we kept that old one there because it wouldn't be worth anything to sell. And it's great that it's in the yard loading salt, so the other one's in the road.
But after using the chapter 90 money for the loader, I know that in the past, we've used that as a cushion with the paving. Is that enough money? Because usually I thought it was, you have the 250 for paving and then you have like another 200 for paving from the chapter 90 money usually. But now you're saying it's only gonna be like 50, 60 left.
Well, keep in mind, this is last year's money that was already in the construction plan was going to be used for the South Road Bridge.
Okay,
It wasn't even in the construction plan because we had 500 from the small bridge program and the bridge was going to be between 750 and 800.
okay,
So we said, okay, we'll use the chapter 90 money.
okay.
Now the state has agreed to, hey, we're going to pay the whole thing. As long as you keep it under $1 million, we'll pay the whole bill. So that chapter 90 money, which we weren't counting on at all,
Okay,
can pay for the loader and
I
keep
just wanted to make sure.
60,000 extra that wasn't going to be there.
Okay,
And not to speak out of turn, Mark made the case that with the chapter 90 money, he can either use it for a loader or a truck.
Right.
Now.
But not a pickup.
But not a pickup, but a medium duty. So what he was opting for is probably a medium duty truck coming out of the chapter 90. Okay, I don't know how much yet, but.
Well,
But
we
again,
got a number for chapter 90 this year of 450, which
but he also,
is incredible.
but he also has to sweep that account next year. Okay, because every 10 years, you have to.
Right.
Okay, so this will be up next year at a 10-year period.
At the end of next year, yeah.
End of next year, not this.
No, thank God, no.
Okay, so, so his options possibly to go for a pickup truck in the fall town meeting. Okay, and I'm going to speak and say that I believe right now on the policeman, okay, on as far as the police chief's account, should put in for a cruiser now, okay, because by the time he gets it, there'll be an excessive amount of miles on whatever cruisers has the most miles on it. which
And
is-
to your point about the cruiser, I just point out too, is that even though it may have 107,000 miles on it, which sounds like not too bad, those things are sitting parked running day after day after day after day, which does not include that in the mileage. So the wear and tear in the engine and the air conditioning and the systems that are running and running.
As I said before, though, it matters the hour. You don't know the hours.
Right, you don't know the,
So
yeah, so it also.
how it was done when we were in school, when I was in school, okay,
Oh, I
for
agree.
engineering school long ago, it was for every hour, you gotta figure it's 30 miles.
Really?
Yes, because it's 30 miles an hour. You look at that as an average.
All right.
I mean, last time we had a capital planning committee, we went over every one of those vehicles in detail. And the recommendation, that was back when Jeff was chief, and he was buying 100,000-mile warranty cars and getting rid of them at 100,000 miles.
Mhm.
And the argument was always, if we go the mileage higher than that, then we're going to increase our maintenance budget.
Mhm.
And I said, well, that's a nice story, but what the committee recommended to the selectmen at the time, I think there's only one of you that was there then at that point, was let's try running 125, let's try 150 and find out what the maintenance budget does. We have no idea. Everything is just these anecdotal stories.
Mhm.
You know, if we target 125,000 on a car and we find our maintenance budget goes crazy, now we've got a data point. But right now, we have no data point that we can't, I mean, I got 110,000 on the truck I drove here tonight. I mean, they're making vehicles a lot better than when, well, three of the four of us were young.
When John was in engineering school.
Yeah, when John was in engineering school.
Well, you make,
And
I was watching,
God invented dirt. So
I was watching the Deerfield town meeting.
Slide rule.
And they came up asking for two cruisers because they had 140 on them, and the town meeting turned them down.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Like,
our
you
point.
get more.
Let's experiment with it.
Well, I think at Dick's point, the data doesn't support this
Exactly.
anecdotal.
Yeah.
Right,
There is
now, to your point though, and Don brought this up earlier. The police budget had quite a bit of surplus in it this year because of not having an officer position filled. The option for maybe the guns is that the selectmen might do a line-to-line transfer in May to do the purchase of the guns, because it's money that would roll to free cash, or you do it now.
And if you don't, it will roll to free cash, and we can be sitting here and making intelligent decisions for all the town's priority for the town.
I understand that, but I think it's a good question to the chief, like, do you see a 20% increase in the cost of the guns, or should we? Or if you say,
That's what they do.
come on, we have a good relationship, right? He's a new guy.
So with that, if my feeling is if you don't know, we don't know what a cruiser will go to. I think you need to put a plan together with the chief. In other words, pick one cruiser
Mhm.
that you're going to say, we're going to run this one, chief, to 150,000. Keep track of the mileage, okay, and let that go.
Maintenance.
Whatever, and keep track of the mileage and maintenance, yes. And on that one cruiser, and see what it comes out to be.
Okay.
Then you have your data that you're looking for, that Dick's looking for, but you're not incurring a problem with an officer trying to respond to it.
So if you're looking for, from the board, where we are in warrant articles, we anticipate the loader to be paid out of chapter 90. We anticipate a dump truck with no action. But we're gonna leave it in to explain that it's gonna come up in the future. We anticipate a truck as part of the plowing fleet, if you're a small truck, plowing fleet thing, leaving it in there, explanation. So let's make them back in the fall.
How many warrant articles do you have?
31, 32, something like that. Yeah, it's, well, I mean, I think the first 6 are now the consent agenda.
Are there any money articles you plan to take action on other than the school resources office?
That's what I'm, so right now, I think. We're not doing, well, we're talking, nothing from them at this point, I don't think. So we're talking about not doing the 1,000 for conservation. We're talking about not doing the 10,000 for the 150. Well, Don brought up a good point. As part of when we signed the Amoresco lease for the landfill, they got $5,000 annually out of that payment to the conservation fund. So they're getting the 5 every year. That doesn't go to free cash, if you will. So why is there an extra 1?
That was always done to. That was, that $1,000 was always put into, so that on the criteria for whether or not we met the
Maybe a mattress.
requirements for grants, we could, whatever it was considered, we met the criteria with that $1,000 contribution to the conservation.
So they get 5,000.
Well, that's not going into that same account right now.
Half of it, well, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't.
That's an interesting politics. Probably not relevant to this role.
Yeah. The other thing, I mean, there's that $150,000 transfer switch for Green Meadows, which I think is on the warrant.
Which,
That was being looked at.
But it's being looked at.
Because Eric and I are willing to do the job for $500 each time it trips.
You got a guy?
Well, it tripped once last year. I mean, that's a lot of money for.
John has initiated a informal inquiry into this.
Yes,
Thank you, John.
I,
mean, the generator costs.
sounds like a lot of money to you.
it did sound like an awful lot of money, but again, I have no data to back it up, so, I'm going to say I asked Gary, our electric inspector, and Herb, Herb's they're gonna go meet this week. I can't make it, but I would have, so.
All right, radios for the fire department, which are actually not radios, per se, pagers.
Pages.
Yeah. What was the number on that?
I think the chief said it was okay. Tomorrow.
Okay, Mom.
Well, doesn't he got 14,000 left in his equipment account?
Other half.
Yes, that is all that's true.
I
Yep.
don't know.
Goodness, so can he buy it from that?
10 pages and $600,000.
Okay.
That's what it was.
John, we can tell you where we are on the roof. Right now, we don't have a hard number because we're hoping the bid for the HVAC comes in so low that we're gonna need barely anything to do the roof and windows, right?
Yeah,
I'll tell you on Thursday.
I was just gonna say Thursday's the bid opening, and I don't know how many people have come back to bid it, so
But that's the hope right there.
it is a hope.
Right, roof, let's see, electrical and lighting upgrades at town hall. Brian?
We talked about maybe possibly repurposing the money from the leftover money from the move.
Yeah.
For that.
Because the warrant article was so tight, it would have to be rewritten, basically. Asbestos removal and flooring improvements. All right, that's something I've been pushing. As you've been walking here, walking out, you hear the floor crackling. Those corridors are not good. And
Yeah,
they're not just replaced because they need to be abated at the same time.
yeah, so that's probably, that can only be paid with current fiscal year funds. This would be. for-
One could be, this is for the other one.
So this is something that I, in my opinion, it could be pushed to at least the fall.
Okay,
Can't they be encapsulated?
tough to do for the floor.
Like
I mean, we did that for the walls in the cafetorium. But I don't think the floor was, there was just walls and the ceiling, right? Yeah. Back in the day.
Right, we did that when I was on the committee.
And look at the job. Yeah, thanks a lot, Don.
Didn't do the floor.
Is it all the flooring in here?
It's pretty much, as you see that, you feel that.
Smaller
Yeah.
tiles, not a 12 by 12.
They replaced some of it over the years, but it's the hallways, you know.
Mhm.
Like the back hallways all new tile, but the front hallways.
Parking lot improvements is just, that may even come off because there's no money for it.
What's it?
Parking lot improvements here. You know,
He may allocate some of the money from. It's 250,000 to pay for the
Yeah,
lot,
right.
for the parking lot here.
It's got money to pay.
How much is
yeah,
it?
but I mean, that, you gotta do roads. I mean, the roads don't get.
Well, chapter 90 this year is like 460.
Chapter 90 can't, well, chapter 90 won't cover
Yes,
it.
it is.
It won't. The only way it can be used for this road, Mark, if you declare the driveway coming in to be a road.
Probably.
Davenport Lane or something.
Davenport Lane.
But that's the point. We got 250 in paving for things that don't qualify for chapter 90.
Right, which is like Sample Lane, which is like Old Orchard, which those, you know,
Right.
they have to be done sometime.
They have to be done sometimes in our, and you know, we are in the toughest budget year that we've seen in 15 or 20 years, whatever that year Blood in the Streets was,
2005, yep.
05. So 20 years. We're in the toughest year since then, and our roads are in better shape than any town around here.
You are not kidding. You are not kidding. You leave Hampden,
Yes.
you go through East Long Meadow, you're shaking.
But on Sunday,
Yeah.
Did we ever think about, changing the footprint of the parking lot out there to make it smaller?
Yes.
Thank you.
We did talk about that. My point is that this is, unless we get some way, because it's full from town meeting. And when it happens, unless you're doing something where you have parking otherwise. The other thing we were talking about is people are complaining about, as they come in, they're going by the, if you will, the fire lane at a high rate of speed.
Mhm.
And I'm thinking we could almost do, kind of like they have at the senior center, where we come out and maybe do a curve thing, so it forces them to the lane closest to the grass, if you will.
You can't really understand this, but we could also put in speed bumps there, I suppose.
I can't believe you're saying that.
I know.
I hate to say it, the pickleball people go at a pretty bad rate. You see them.
Yeah.
They gotta get to that court.
Gotta get to the game.
Exactly. I assume all none of the CPA stuff costs money, right?
Not operating.
Yeah, okay. Do we still have a meeting tomorrow? Okay. So we have a couple of consent agenda things, which are nothing more than the revolving fund limits. School resource officer, we have some questions about that. But that'll still be in the 12 to 13 to 14 range, but we're considering their budgeting thing being a little like, You know, it's always been 11, 11, 11. This year they come in with a 14 number. But they're also calling it FY 27, and it's always been a year behind. So that throws me up.
And last year they did the same thing.
Yeah,
They
same
said
thing.
FY
They called it
26, so we
26.
paid that, so I think they owe us money.
Well, we actually haven't written that check, it turns out.
Good work.
Nice job. Little something extra for you this week.
Oh, and they were sending you a bill, just like you requested.
Yes,
That's right. Enterprise fund for the transfer station. Don and Lori are working on that right now. Maybe a change in fees that would reduce the impact on tax money. Hoping to get it to almost net zero, if not positive.
if possible.
Yeah. I mean, bags will be $40, but you know, we won't be losing money.
50.
Definitely.
It's a big bag though.
It's a big bag. Big bag.
More of a dumpster bag.
Yeah. So that's where we are from warrant articles. So does that help you?
You can take $800. I'm gonna stick with this. You can take $800 out of the police department budget for the Narcan. They can buy that out of the opioid settlement.
How much are they getting from that?
I got about $9,000 in that.
How much?
You want 9,000, 4,000?
It was that much.
It's more than 800.
These little dribble in checks, these little $300-400 checks.
Yeah.
Not as big as that EV account we have from the senior center. That's huge money, right, Dick? You're not on camera, Dick. Go ahead. Bob Markle Lane.
Did anybody using those chargers? I haven't seen anybody over there.
We get some money every month.
The income's like $150 a month.
Oh,
And
That's gross, that's gross.
and when you look at the chart, it's, you know, like 4 or 5 people plug in a month.
Mhm.
But then we put in 2.
Okay. All right. At least we make sure to plow it clear right around it, yeah. And didn't hit it with a plow.
does anybody know why our electric rates are as high as they are?
Yes, I want to know that.
No, do you know?
I think it might have something to do with funding chargers that nobody needs and nobody uses.
Oh, I see. There was a
Well, man.
rhetorical question.
To that, that's why I didn't.
Okay, thank you.
All I was gonna sign with.
All right, so all that being said, what's the tax rate gonna be next year?
That's all you want to know?
Do we have any idea, well, do we have any idea where the school budget is in terms of the negotiations? I mean, I know that's all secret, but someone, yeah. I mean, someone must know, do the teachers want 20% and the school's offering them 1%, or are they within?
I personally have no information as to, you know, how far out they are.
The scuttlebutt that I've heard is that they're budgeting 2.5, 2.7, something in that range. That's just scuttlebutt.
I mean,
They're in mediation, right? So,
yeah, they're in mediation. They don't have any plans to have a meeting till who knows when. The budget's coming, and then I just have fears of, oh, by the way, we settled at you go as $500,000 more, you know, because of steps and stipends and coaches' fees and paraprofessionals,
I mean, we're sure
they gotta give us, they gotta give.
carry something in their budget.
Yeah.
But what's the differential between what they actually settle at? And how much they have to pay back? Because it's, you know,
We don't have any information.
no, and nothing we can share either.
We actually had asked that question. Had tried to pin them down on a specific number they were carrying in their budget request.
They can't comment.
They didn't want to carry a number on it. Like,
So what I heard was between the capital and the operating, they were sending a letter that was 590 something more from this year.
Which is great, because, the advisory committee told them 450.
Yeah, I was surprised at that. You know,
that's
they
what
just,
we
that one in one ear and out the other.
were just talking, we haven't seen a specific number from anybody at the schools. So, I mean, we're just going with a somewhat informal number.
Well, that was the vote.
Well, I haven't seen anything.
No, I know, but that was the last vote of the 27 votes they took that night.
And it's not clear what was reduced or eliminated to reach that number.
Mhm.
So until we have a little bit more information, it's kind of hard to
Right.
take a position on the school number without knowing exactly what it includes and what it doesn't include.
The elephant in the room there, in terms of the budget, is what do you think you're gonna be doing with the water bill this year?
Not as much.
If you didn't have that, we wouldn't really be here, but you've got to, Dick, you want to knock it down somewhat every year.
Yeah.
How much, what kind of bite are you looking to take out of this year?
I'd love to take half of it. We'll take 600 out.
Mhm.
I'm guessing it's gonna be like 1.2. It might be a little higher than that, but we still low.
Mhm.
It's not.
Why? Why not have a, I don't understand. Why not pay $50,000 a year against the, I mean, what's the,
Well, but my logic was that when the fire station comes online, we're going to see a very large increase in people's taxes. And if we could get this out of the way before that comes on, it would give us a more stable tax rate.
To clear the decks, basically.
Get rid of the short-term debt before we start paying that mortgage. That was my logic.
Where are we with the police station? How many more years?
We're halfway. No, we're not even halfway.
Not even halfway.
Yeah, what do we get? We're 7 or 8 years in, I think.
8, yeah.
Good.
So that was my logic. I feel free to disagree.
I don't.
It's okay. You can do that. It's just, I don't like kicking the can down the road.
I've lived on debt all my life. It's great.
I try to avoid it, Tom.
Okay. Well,
But,
seriously,
but I mean, it's good. You're in business, right?
already know, yeah.
Okay, doesn't every business carry debt?
Yeah, but any help? Debt is
You have a credit line,
Yeah, but
you use it
you get
sometimes
in
use.
trouble though, if you're carrying too much debt.
I know, but we don't carry to it. We're not even close to what we could possibly carry. I'm not saying we go to a maximum, but my feeling is if we take $600,000, we put it against that debt, okay, then that money can't lower the tax rate. That money can't go into the stabilization fund. That money can't be there for something else. And I just look at it, when you buy a house, you don't pay cash. You get a 30-year mortgage. Why? Because you got to do other things to the house. You got to pay your bills. You got to pay groceries. You got to do this other stuff.
My counterpoint, John, would be saying that your suggestion is kicking the can down the road. And that's what got Hampden County Retirement in the situation it is.
But we're not kicking that down the road. We're paying it. We're paying something on it.
Slowly, but.
I mean, it's a capital item you're paying.
But what happens when the next project comes up?
Add to the debt.
You borrow some more money. That's what banks are for. That's what bonds are for.
It's right, county retirement.
That's not what happened with county. What county retirement is, they didn't pay. No one paid the retirement bills for years. No one paid their fair share, just like they do in the social security. They don't pay their fair share. They capped the freaking social security at $150,000. So guys like me who make $200,000 a year don't pay social security anymore. Right? I don't pay my,
So we should pay as we go.
Why get a salary here? For crying out loud,
No.
it's only your time.
I'm on a fixed income now, I'm retired.
With 7 pensions,
Well, 4.
like Don, like Bob Marco.
I just,
The problem with carrying debt is it reduces flexibility and the carrying costs. It's money that's not available for other things.
yeah, but,
Lord knows we're gonna have plenty.
yeah, but if you take the $600,000, you don't have the money available for us. So here's what you do, you take your
One of Dick's dreams.
I know. So let's say we work with that. You pay off that portion of $600,000, right? And now you still don't have the money for other things because you've
Well,
paid it.
Mike,
So you gotta borrow again anyhow.
another counterpoint would be, if suddenly an extra $500,000 shows up. I don't trust government to spend it wisely. We'll increase some service that we probably could have gotten away with a
Well,
little more frugally.
I don't think, I've never been in all my town meetings and the advisory committee meetings. I don't think this is the crew that ever misspent money.
Oh, really?
We're really a little tight.
All right, Dick, say, all right, you've got 1.2 to finish the water project.
Probably, yeah, something that.
If you didn't make a payment on it, how much does it cost you to service that 1.2 for another year?
I don't know, what's the interest on $1 million?
No, but that's, so that's, a-
3%.
it goes back to Don's point,
Oh, no.
it's like,
What are you going to do, 5% now?
Close to 5.
5%, okay, it's $500 million, 50,000.
so call it 61.2, so. But that goes to Don's point there, like, okay, we pay down 150 on it. Yes, it'll cost us another 40 for debt service, but we save 400 we can use for something else, kind of, is that where you were going with that?
Yeah,
It's all relative, though. But we're also not, to their point, this is where I'm at. We're not paying interest on that money. We're not borrowing, so we're knocking it down, we're getting rid of it eventually. I get there's no money, but if we ever got into that big of a pine, we could borrow the money.
This is a full discussion anyway,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we'll have plenty of time to argue.
Then I go about that.
really? All summer?
Yeah, also.
Also,
We got those nice courtyards, we can sit outside. So what good news does the advisory committee actually have for us?
The increase is more moderate than we anticipated.
Okay.
That's good news.
that's good news.
Great. Thanks to you all.
Now,
Thanks to everybody in the town.
Yeah, so the comments.
Yes, but it also because we're deferring a bit too. To see where we are.
I think everybody's aware of the situation and they're trying to do their best
Right.
to make difficult decisions.
It was very
we're
clear when they
gonna
came. to
tighten
see
the
us.
belts.
I have one last question. When might we get a copy of the warrant articles?
Yeah,
They don't have amounts on them. You want to email projected amount to,
Yeah, numbers on.
Jeannie?
okay, she can distribute, okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Sorry.
Thank you so much.
It's not closed, the warrant's not closed yet,
Oh, okay.
so everything is.
When is it closed?
We closed it.
We close, we're going to close again
Okay.
last week. Right now, and there was the discussion about the regional agreement and we closed it because A, we could reopen and B, I'm not sure that's gonna be done in our lifetime. So it just seems to have it just keeps going on. Done. Maybe the
We're
fall.
not paying for capital improvements at the Wilbraham Middle School that were identified 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Period. That's,
There's no point. in paying.
Paragraph 7, subparagraph 3, paragraph A. Whatever that is, we're not.
Is there a group that's working on that at all?
yes, yes.
There is.
Yep, planning committee.
Planning committee with me, myself, Michelle, Mark Ducey. We get along well. And,
Is it Mike?
and,
No,
No.
Mike is.
no, Sean Kennedy. We meet every couple of weeks.
Am I putting that in the minutes?
Feel free.
We meet every couple of weeks and the discussion always ends up in the same place, in which I say, we're not paying for capital improvements to the middle school that were identified 10 years ago. Thank you.
And that's
Then they all hug.
that's
and
kind of like a few
at
weeks
that
ago,
point,
they kind of wanted to engage town council and we didn't want to approve, spend the money on our town council. When it's kind of cut and dry. You guys go to your council, do what you gotta do if you want to send something to the select board, we'll review it. And then at that point, if we think that needs to go to town council, we'll make the decision. But exactly.
Right.
That's why we were in.
Smart.
You know, we all agree.
The school voted to withdraw the windows and doors application.
Yeah.
In middle.
Yeah.
Do they have anything pending? Any type of application pending for any type?
Yes, they've applied to the core program, which was the more extensive
Full renovation.
either full renovation or a new building. But that is a couple of year process.
A long road.
So the plan is, I think their plan is that they would, if they get accepted in the core program, which would be in December, then they have 120 days to do a feasibility, to get us feasibility, money for a feasibility study. They will borrow the money. They think the feasibility study is gonna cost $1 million.
Which is shocking. Remember, the feasibility study for Minichog was in the 500 range.
Yeah, $1 million. And they would, then depending on what was decided, whether it's a full renovation or a new building, they would roll that into that'd be part of that bond issue.
Which we voted to support that,
Right.
but the board was united to say, during that 5-year period, what's your plan for the students at Wolverhampton Middle? You know, that's
What
it.
things can you fix?
Right.
Help?
That don't need to be permanent. Now you're just, it's upkeep. It's not 30-year repair. Because I think even if they vote to do the total renovation at that site, it's still pretty much a new building at that point, albeit with swampland underneath. Or they decide to put it as a campus at Minichog where maybe the old Minichog was, which would negate any long-term fixing at Wolverhampton Middle, because at that point, Wolverhampton will have their second empty school building on their hands. Which is not great, but that's their problem.
All right, well, a long ways to go on that issue.
Yes. Yeah, but there is, but it's also an issue that doesn't seem to be getting anywhere. That's the frustration.
Right.
We made our point and it is. I'm sorry, Tiger's here to tell us our tea time is up.
The superintendent has proposed another amendment, which would, if it became depending on what the core program was, if it became a regional building, and then the cost would be shared. But Wolverhampton doesn't want to do that because they're afraid it might not become a regional building, and they'd be stuck with all the repairs.
Right.
Yeah, what I was thinking is, I mean, the town of Wolverhampton owns that building.
Yeah, that's the thing.
All right, we're not gonna solve that tonight.
No.
Well, thank you. When's your next meeting?
Got a debate.
We're gonna meet next week and go through these with a little bit of information. In the meantime, I'm gonna try and get clarification from the school in terms of what number they're requesting and what that number includes. Doesn't include.
Do you want to be on our agenda? I mean, after your meeting, do you want to come in and just keep doing this kind of roundtable thing and keep? We have no problem. We'll have more new cookies. We'll.
We'll bring out.
I got one question. Does your money include the dispatch?
What?
We don't have a new dispatch number.
Last year's number for now.
Okay.
It doesn't include any increase. We know that number's gonna change. Carrying the number.
Yeah, just to get a bump.
Last year's number.
Yeah.
You have a sense of when that number's gonna come through? Any idea?
Well, it was supposed to come through, today, but it didn't.
So we'll have it well in advance of time.
Well, it's on the Wolverhampton agenda tonight, their select board, so. Maybe they'll let.
Anticipating it's gonna go up, just a question of how much. Wasn't Belchertown going into the?
Belchertown's in it for 250,000. Our original.
Granby is
125.
Right, and they're talking about bringing Granby in a couple years down the road.
Those grants coming.
Yep.
Thank you, Doug.
All right.
Thank you. So, yes, we'll pencil you in for next week.
Yeah.
Great, okay.
Good night.
Usually.
I think it's a good idea every week.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
especially now that
Communication open. Yep.
communication will be more.
We're getting out of crunch time.
Yes, absolutely. Things are changing daily.
Yeah.
Did Dan want something or?
No, I don't think.
Might want to talk. But
Where are they, what's happening with the truck? Any idea?
Okay. All right, where are we?
We have completed everything that's on the agenda at this point. We have 17 cookies left, so we got, I think, another half hour to go. This is all on video, you know, all on video. Select board reports, I have nothing to report.
So
Oh, townhouse meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah, last week was pretty,
Just cancel it.
70 people outside waiting to get in.
No.
All right, so yeah, you and every other board are meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah, really tomorrow.
Appeals hearing, there's, yeah. And you get the big room.
Very cool.
All right, Brian.
couple things, the MVP grant application. That deadline was extended 1 week because the state's new grant management system is having some difficulty, but that grant application is set to go in. Hopefully I can submit it tomorrow. Should be all set. And John mentioned this earlier, MassDOT was agreed to increase the small bridge grant amount for the South Road Bridge. We're also going to apply for near close to $1 million to include a contingency amount that we can have there in case materials costs go up.
I did some calling around to talk about the Main Street Bridge, Laughing Brook. And the amount that, Steve came back was the full replacement thing, the $3 to $4 million. And he said, if it was, because he talked about what their concern was during a flood, there wasn't enough volume able to go through. And I said, you see these all the time in dams, like they have floodways on the sides to allow more capacity. When it rises up, it can go through. And I said, is there that kind of option? The guy I talked to said, well, if you had it close enough to it, you probably could do something where you drill through and just put to the left and right, a 2 to 3 foot thing to allow more volume to go through. So I think maybe that's not what Steve wants to hear, but I think maybe that's something that can be done and get the repair done inside that $1 million number. Especially when it gets into public safety, hazard mitigation, that type of thing. So I just want to, obviously we know that the bridge itself needs a little repair.
Yep.
A couple beams they talked about. The railing looks like it certainly could use some replacing. But one of those, people don't understand how many bridges there are in town. You go down, the culvert type, the culvert type, you go down Scannick Road, there's at least 3 to 4.
And then Mark and I went to a grant meeting. The other bridge grant we have is the FAIR program. I forget what FAIR stands. It's an accelerated bridge repair program that we were awarded for the Mill Road over the Scantic. The way that's going to happen is MassDOT's going to bid out. They broke it out by regions in Western Mass. So there's like 6, 7, 8 bridges in our region, and they're going to bid them out as one package. So we don't have to do any procurement. They're going to get one contractor who's going to bid on 6 or 7 bridges. They're going to make the repairs, single designer for each bridge. MassDOT's paying for everything, and they're going to make those repairs. So,
and to be clear to people, this is not the small bridge at Mill Pond. This is the bridge leading up to the solar fields.
Yeah.
Right. And we had the hole on a year or so ago, right?
Yeah.
Again, hopefully another project that will have no impact on our fully paid for. You're hoping.
Right. It shouldn't. And I mean, it's great that they're doing it. They're doing it across the state in segments. They're starting out west for once. So we're not going to see the project come back around
For a while.
ever.
And Steve, and to be clear, Steve did do some work on your behalf or a town's behalf to see if the Laughing Brook Bridge would qualify, and unfortunately, their proposed price exceeded their limit.
Yeah.
you know, they had $1 million limit and the full replacement was much higher than that.
Yeah, and I guess maybe if there had been more dialogue from MassDOT to the towns about the fair program.
Mhm.
I mean, so the fair is an accelerated bridge repair program. It's not gonna pay to replace, but maybe we could have directed them to another bridge, and I guess that was one of the main points, I guess, that MassDOT received into the feedback was a lot of towns were like, hey, that's great, but we have this bridge
This one really needs to be fixed.
really needs it.
Yeah, I know.
And, I mean, even if you look at the scores that the bridges they chose within the region, it's like, you know, there were 6 or 7, so a lot of the bridges are
6, 7, really.
those are trees, yeah.
6, 7.
So good one. That
Uh,
one's gonna age well.
thanks. Ongoing things, where are we with the traffic study? We signed that to be done.
Right, so we signed the letter, requesting traffic analysis of Allen Summers, Wilbraham, East Long Meadow Road.
Mhm.
Down to or across or up, or however you directly want to go to Main Street and Summers
Okay.
in the area in between that. So PVPC had given us a verbal commitment to do that because they try to distribute UPWP, Unified Planning Work Program funds.
Mhm.
Those are federal transportation dollars that thankfully haven't been cut yet. And they try to distribute those geographically within the region, and Hampden hasn't requested those in a very long time, so they committed to doing that study for us. So that should get us a conceptual design recommendations as to how to improve those two intersections, because they really are linked.
Yeah.
In terms of their proximity, so.
All right, one thing now that weather's better, would you mind reaching out to the chief, and this goes back to what I talked about before, and asking if they could do a traffic study with their strips, et cetera, of Raymond Drive. Now that the weather's better, they can put it out there. I'd like to get a sense of the speed and the amount of traffic there is there on a daily basis. I mean, hey, I use it for a cut through coming from East Long Meadow down Allen to go to the town hall. It's the way to go.
Mhm.
You probably use it too.
I do.
I mean, you live there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, and do you?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, of course, why would you go all the way down and come back? So
But you go down and take that corner anyhow.
two wheels,
Yeah.
right? And thank them for fixing the flagpole. Nice job, getting. That thing's taken a beating on it lately.
It does look good.
Huh?
It does look good. It's good.
Yeah. But again, same thing. I think it's something that it's gonna come up, especially as summer comes along. And now we're fully open, the library's open, the rec is open. I feel for you, you know, if we don't take charge of it now, you could see a tremendous impact on Raymond Drive.
Good.
Right. All right, any more?
That's about it.
One more. The cameras.
Oh, yep, so we had a good conversation with Valley. Eric understands what we're talking about.
Thank you.
So we were able to scope a project that's within our budget, so we're gonna move forward with that.
So that's now, is that camera with dispatch or cameras?
So that would not be with dispatch currently, that would be this system here.
Because back in Tony had talked about trying to get cameras covered by dispatch money for the town buildings.
Yeah, and we can follow.
IPC was out for a while, so I'm not sure, you know.
Yeah. But the idea is that it would be, our original conversations with Valley was that the cameras were compatible and that they could feed into dispatch, directly dispatch,
Mhm.
like the ones do at the townhouse.
And this is all grant money though too, right? This,
Yeah, this is the stadium.
right, the stadium, so.
Okay, quick thing. Is there something on the warrant for the Old Town Hall? We talked about them having,
No.
so we should have something for either a report or something like that. Think of a warrant article that's thrown, we should open and add it in. Whether it's
They
gonna
could do
be,
it, they could. Yeah, so Article 1 is to receive all the reports of the
yeah, but
committees, but that's.
I think it should be more clear that, you know, we have.
You need someone to stand up, you need to stand up to say this is where we are.
So we should next week, yes, next week we should add that, maybe even replacing another one with that or whatever. But I think it's gotta be on there as a specific article.
Be happy to give a presentation.
But we put charge on them, they had to be ready for town meetings, so it should be
Good AI. How about AI? Talk about it.
holograph.
Star Trek, GPT.
Lauren, anything?
I don't know if you read, excuse me, but I don't know if you read it, I sent along to some of there is quite a bit of a split about what, in the finances of it's gonna be the deciding factor.
I don't know, it seemed to be pretty, I thought, looking at whether it's column 3 or 4, I can't remember. I thought I saw a lot of answers that said, I'd love to preserve it, and a lot of answers said, well, I really can't take much more in my taxes.
Right.
What's this gonna cost me?
Yeah.
That seemed to be a large
That's-
majority, I
That's
thought.
based on, I don't remember the exact number, but it's only in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Amount of people.
Which is a great response.
It is a great,
Yeah.
it's a great response, but
132, there might be
132, but they're also, when is it closed? April 1st, was it?
April 10th.
April 10th.
We're gonna do like a forum on the 7th and the 14th.
Now, is that the one, the senior attorney that's here?
Senior finish 24th.
Yeah, a lot of people that want to see.
Is that another
tax
Tuesday?
base.
Yeah.
I think that was, the other consensus is people don't want to spend any dollars to
Yeah.
get there, so that's understandable.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Anything else to come before the board?
More-
Want to address the other correspondence listed on the agenda? Certified letter?
We did. I asked Don if he was having a
Yes,
meeting.
we're having a meeting.
Yeah.
Ryan
Oh,
Paxton.
that's the meeting on Thursday.
And myself, a meeting on Thursday with the principal.
They were very appreciative of what we've heard from residents, even including Eric.
Yeah.
And we hope to address this long before the season, so
Yeah,
big
we agree.
starts.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you all. Bye, Kristen.